Hello. I should be live now, guys. How's it going? Yeah, I was about 15, actually almost 20 minutes late now. I'm sorry, guys. However, I do have here in my hand one. Shit, there's a chip in my mug. God damn it. I have a French vanilla coffee. Here it is. Are you gonna Wait, can you guys see me? Sorry. Can you see me? I'm live. Uh-oh. Refresh, guys. Refresh. Because YouTube says I'm going. No, 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 yes, no, no, no. Well, there's one yes. YouTube says I'm live. So does OBS. Shit. Are you sure? It says I am live, you fucks. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Like, it says I'm definitely live. Now it's on. There we go. Okay. I didn't change anything. Yeah, see, I didn't change anything. It just did it itself. Okay. If I'm live now, good. Anyway, I have a French vanilla, and there's also a chip in my mug, and I'm not happy about it, but I am about 20 minutes late, guys. I'm sorry. You had it muted. Oh, that's what it was. Jesus. Anyway, in fact, the fact that I was late means that I didn't actually, I didn't outright tell people what was going on, you know? It's lagging. Uh-oh. Buffering now. Okay, hold on. How about now? God damn it. It's lagging. I don't know what to do, guys. Okay, you still hear me. It was just laggy, I guess, eh? Is it better, or? Leg's gone? I guess the leg's gone. Alright. Well. Let me just have a sip here. There's a few things I just gotta fix real quick. If you don't mind. If you're completely okay with it. Okay. Nope. Sorry, guys. Sorry. If you're coming here looking for professionalism, this is not the show to watch. Okay. OBS says my internet's fine. Oh, YouTube just gave me a new error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I'm giving it 10,000 kilobits per second. That's more than enough. YouTube only needs 4,000. $10 from that confused. Anywho, where I live, the university has been posting flyers and having sessions how to spot human traffickers. Yeah. Well, I mean, human trafficker still works, though, man. As a term, I'm okay with it, personally. But thanks for the 10. And then there was a 5 from Art Stotskin General. Yes, I, too, also love Papers, Please. Dev, do you think you'll be willing to talk about unions sometime? I'm a union guy here in America. Honestly, I'm kind of uneducated about it. But I could look into it, I guess. No lag, but the stream is very much behind. I see. A full 2-minute delay. Shit. Well, the YouTube error just went away. So... yeah, in terms of chat delay, the first thing the most recent message right now is Brick Muppet saying "good here." So how much of a delay is that? Just forge ahead. All right. I guess things are okay, maybe. Let's just get on with it then. Welcome to the Weekly Sip, even though it's late. You know how things are nowadays. You know, I'm just late all the time. I'm a late-ster, unfortunately. How did you guys like that Vosh Sargon debate yesterday? Wasn't that some crazy shit? I don't even think Vosh like engaged with anything. Like, I think that Sargon could have handled a few things differently, a few things better, but, like, for the most part, he just seemed to be, like, losing his fucking marbles right on stream. $5 from DRT is king. Free Hong Kong! Rocky, the Donald Trump side, the bipartisan Hong Kong bill. Also, you're fine. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the 5. I do have a China video coming up one day. That was an insufferable debate? Yeah, kind of. Now, because I was late, I had to do some IRL things that are unrelated to the channel real quick before 11 o'clock, and I didn't have enough time. So, I'm going to, wait a second. God damn it. Kraut's doing something stupid. Hold on. Fucking Kraut. Okay. Anyway, I didn't, advertise the stream, so I gotta do that right now. I'll put it on Twitter. Do a little tweet. There you go. And I'll put it on Discord, and then we'll get started. Where's my Discord? Wait a minute. What the hell, man? Okay. Anyway, it should be okay. Let me just do an @ everyone to annoy the whole server again. There it goes. Boom. All right. So let's actually start with business here, if you don't mind. Blizzard's video coming. Okay. I've had like disaster after disaster recently. Okay. Like the vampire campaign didn't happen this week because I lost power because I was in the worst snowstorm, one of the worst snowstorms of my life. And man, my chair's getting squeaky. You hear that? Yeah. But anyway, basically, like I've had like things fall apart constantly the past week. So like you guys noticed that like I kind of fell off the daily video train for a little bit. It's because of what happened. Like a bunch of things happened this week that just kind of like railed me. So anyway, let me at least. Oh, there's another 10 from Confused. Thanks very much. Jeez, man. Here's another 10, and yeah, there's been a slave ring busted by police FBI in my home city central distribution. Oh, damn. Your city's like a slave city? Labor unions in the USA would be a good topic for you. I just don't know enough about unions. Yeah, Chris Cap just said ping if you're pinging me. How long does it take for you to hear this? Start counting. Thanks for the donations, guys, though. I appreciate it. But here, speaking of donations, I'll give you the spiel. How to support SFO one-time donation is paypal.me/RedFeatherOtaku. I might actually put in Streamlabs. People have been really requesting Streamlabs. Maybe I'll have that set up for the next stream. Monthly options: Patreon, Subscribe Star, YouTube memberships, which is the join button below the video, and Twitch sub on my gaming channel, Game Boomers. Any of those 4 things, $5 a month, gets you into the $5 club on Discord, where we chat and play games. I'm gonna have game servers up and running eventually. $5 a month, like as a monthly recurring subscription, gets you into it, and $100 through any source, one-time donation, gets you into the $5 club for life. That's how supporting the channel works. So if any of that sounds good, that's what you can do. But the $100 has to be like a full, like a one-time. It's like a lump sum kind of thing. Like I've had people ask, well, can I pay like in $5 increments over the next 20 months? And it's like, no, unfortunately, it has to be a lump sum. Because otherwise, it just becomes like the point of it is that you're like buying a package deal right now, you know. Game servers are not lies. I got fucked this past week. I was planning to like sit down and fit and like hammer out the logistics for the SFO Minecraft server. I just got fucked this week. I'm gonna have to do it next week. But anyway, another thing of note. This is actually rather important. Every month, you guys have noticed that I do a community stream. We'll talk about Sargon versus Vosh, but basically I think that Sargon, he won the debate not on his own merits, but because Vosh refused to organize. He refused to actually engage. But anyway, I'm changing something up about the channel regarding the community stream. So for example, when we started taking in money from people, the idea of the monthly community night would be that if you donated $5 a month, you could join us once a month. What's wrong, Chris Rubel? Is it? Anyway, if you donated once a month, what would end up happening is you would be able to come with us for a movie night. And that was the original purpose of the monthly community nights. It would just be some kind of way to get the community together, and people who donated can get like something out of their donation. Now that worked. You know, having me and my friends on a couch, and having, you know, the 3 donators that we had, you know, 2 years ago, join in for a movie riff, that worked because we only had 3 donators. You know? We only had 3 donators. But now there's like 100. And there's at least 20 people showing up to every single movie night. And they're like, well, we all want to riff on the movie with you, Dev. And it's like, well, you can't have 20 riffers on a movie. Like, it doesn't work. So I had to like axe the riff part of the movie night, and a lot of people were pissed about it. And I understand why they were pissed about it, but like logistically from my end, you can't stream. Wait, I'm right here, Rubel. I'm streaming. Yeah, dude. Look, can everyone hear me? Am I just speaking into the ether? Because YouTube says I'm fine. And OBS says I'm fine. Can you hear me? Anyway, my point is. My point is. yeah. Okay. It's all right, Rubel. It's okay. It will not be a mod. There will be like at the very least one vanilla survival map. I don't know about the rest of the Minecraft server. We'll see. But in any case, what I'm talking about regarding the community nights is that as soon as we got more too many people who were donating money, I mean, it's a good thing, it's a good problem to have, but as soon as that became the case, we couldn't do movie night riffs with the community anymore. At least we couldn't stream it. So the whole point was like, well, you have 3 people, you can do a movie riff. You have 20 people, you can't. If in the future I have 200 people, I definitely can't. You know? I definitely can't. So the movie nights as a community night became untenable. So we kind of took the riff part out of it and just watched the movie and like me and my co-hosts riffed ourselves. And that was kind of fun, but like no one really watched it. I don't know if you noticed. Like, the Weekly Sip might get 400 viewers at its peak. The live dumping with Scrump got like 800 viewers. I might get 100 with the movie nights on this channel. It just seems like that's not something. The community nights don't seem to be anything that people are interested in, unfortunately. Even though I really find it a lot of fun to riff on movies. At the same time, we were also using the Game Boomers format to do the movie nights. So like, sitting on the couch and we have like the screen and the chat rooms down there and the whole thing. Like we were using that as a format unique to my gaming channel, Game Boomers, and we were using it for the movie nights. And it just didn't feel right. So I'm changing the way that community nights are run. Now, Butters thinks that I should roll the community night into the Weekly Sip. So I should have all the community-oriented stuff, as well as all the all the channel update stuff, as well as all the weekly news articles in one big fat stream. I don't know if I like the idea of that. Just because people say that the Weekly Sip is disorganized and unfocused as it is, I wouldn't want to add a whole other dimension to it. You know what I mean? Like what do you guys think? My solution is once a month, I will do a stream like the Weekly Sip. I'll probably do it tonight. Where instead of doing movie riffs, what I'll do is I will go over any kind of fan art or fan creations that have been done of me. There's usually at least a few every month. I will open up any kind of packages that people sent me, because I usually get a few packages, right? I'll like turn on a webcam and I'll open those up. And then I'll do like a radio call-in show where like people who want to appear can just call in and we can talk for like 5 minutes about whatever they want to talk about, and then that'll be basically the community show, because I want a way for people who have donated money to engage on the channel somehow, like some kind of community situation. So like, it made sense when it was a movie riff, when there was 5 of us, because we could actually do it and it was community engagement. But as soon as there was too many people, we had to cut the community part out of it. And then it's like, well, then it's not really a community night if we're just riffing on a movie. So I think what I'll do is I'll make the movie riffs like a separate project on another side channel or something, like on the dev kit or something. I'll do movie riffs there if anybody actually cares about those. I enjoy doing them, but I know that they're not as popular as this stuff. But I'll keep doing them there, probably at some point. And then I'll just make the community night actually community focused. If that sounds good to you guys. I kind of want your opinions on this, but I also know that because of the YouTube lag earlier, I'm like 2 minutes ahead of you, it seems like, based on the lag. Yeah, Chris Probst just said, have a good day, I'll enjoy the stream. See you later, man, but I have a feeling that you're not going to hear this for a few minutes because YouTube's fucked. Here's some super chats. Yeah. Combining streams would be like Sitch or Friended's or EFAPs. Yeah, the 6-hour streams, it's a bit much, isn't it? Okay. Yeah. There's confused screaming, unmute me for $10. Thanks. Unions to research are Union of Audio Workers, International Mechanists Union, and Teamsters for private, and then do public ones. Okay. I just don't know enough about that. You could PM me on Discord if you like, but I just don't know enough about the situation. Archstotes in general, 5. I would 100% be up to paying 100 to talk about it in a dump. Okay, fair enough. If you like, we can arrange it. I'm practically real time, huh? Will the Minecraft server be public? Or it'll have to be $5 a month. Yeah, it'll be like the $5 a month club, just because I just need the money, frankly, to run it. Barely no leg. Okay, at least everyone's caught up. That's good. Please don't give up on Sweden just yet. It has until 2030 to fix its problems. After that, it will either be a national socialist ethno-state or an Islamic caliphate. Jesus. Well, anyway, that's my point of view. I want some kind of community night once a month for people who pay into the show. I want to give back somehow. But the movie nights just weren't cutting it anymore. So I'll put that aside. I'll revive it later as a different project, and I'm going to do a radio call-in show instead. So I think what the plan is for today is I'll do Weekly Sip right now, and we're going to start the actual news in about a minute. I'll do the Weekly Sip. And then like tonight, probably around 6:30, I'm going to do the normal Game Boomers stream, which will be something like, I think it's actually going to be Catherine Full Body tonight over on Game Boomers if you want to come watch. And then after the Catherine stream's done, just pop into the voice channel in Discord, into the $5 Club's voice channel in Discord, and I'll probably fire up a stream after the Catherine Game Boomers show is done, and I'll do like a community night. And that's how I'm probably going to handle it from now on. That's probably what's going to happen. And I think in the future, like I have to do like 3 streams today just because I have like a bunch of shit going on. But I think in the future, I will only do Game Boomers like Monday to Saturday, and then make Sunday my night off so I can do a stream like this and a stream like the community stream. I think that's the situation. Consider playing Jackbox Party Pack. Well, Dr. Diddler, any kind of like community games that I do, I also do over on Game Boomers. And I let everyone know in the $5 Club when it happens. So yeah, that's the plan for today. This, and then in about 7 hours, Catherine on Game Boomers, and then after Catherine, I'll do a community stream in the evening. And I will interview people if you want to come in and talk to me, if they want to come in and yell at me, if they want to complain about stuff. That's the plan. All right. Dev, what is your thoughts on streamers getting too big to interact with when people be on super chats? Personally, I feel that it feels an interactive experience just watching TV. I agree, actually. But the thing is that when you have 10,000 viewers, or you have 100,000 viewers, the chat room just scrolls by so fast, it becomes cancerous. Like what are you supposed to do except put on a show, you know? Like, what can you do? When there's too many people. Like right now, we're at 291 viewers, so says YouTube, and that's like... It's enough viewers so that your stream's financially viable. You can get some money, you can pay off some bills with it. But like at the same time, I can still like talk to people. I can still see the chat's moving, but it's not moving fast enough that I don't miss anybody, you know? So that's like, this is probably a good size. When you start getting into 4 figures, the chat starts to become kind of unusable. And I don't exactly know what the solution is to that. Like, because if you limit people's ability to speak in the chat, like slow mode or subs only or whatever, then there's going to be some part of the population that feels alienated. But if everyone's talking and you're just that popular, there's that many people, what do? You can't pay attention to the chat room anymore, you know? It's kind of unfortunate. It seems like a lot of people are. It seems like a lot of people are behind. It seems like a lot of people are behind. Please catch up. Anyway, do I play point and clicks? Yes. We actually for on Game Boomers, Andy, we played Phantasmagoria, that like point and click FMV game from the mid-90s. That was like a Halloween game for us. Anyway, let's go back to the news, if you don't mind. I think that's probably a good idea. Let's see what I got. I'll bring it in right now. Is this it? That would be it. Sorry if the pre-show... Yeah, the pre-show was 24 minutes. Again, I wanted to make it 15, but with the extra news of the community night, as well as technical difficulties, it got extended out. I'm trying to keep my pre-shows in the Weekly Sip to about 15 minutes long. So let's do the news. Here we go. Teacher who had drunken sex with students and told police, "I can't remember anything," avoids jail. I guess that's a defense now. I guess that's a defense. Of course it's fucking Texas. A Texas high school... Ooh. Yahoo, your site sucks. A Texas high school teacher who had drunken sex with 2 students and claimed she didn't remember doing so pleaded guilty on Wednesday. Okay, she's 33. Pleaded 2 counts of improper relationship between an educator and a student. A third charge, all on solicitation of a minor, was dismissed. I wonder why. She had sex with 2 of her high school students. One student was described as a 16-year-old male. The other was described as an adult at the time of the sexual abuse. An adult? Okay. So, like, I guess like 18 or something, but still in high school. A 16-year-old student said he and Burge began messaging on Snapchat in or about September or October 2017 and sent naked photos to each other, according to the warrant. The teen fell asleep in Burge's kid's bedroom before she woke up and asked him to get into bed with her. She was highly intoxicated on both nights. Ah, God. Burge acknowledged she remembered driving on back roads with the 16-year-old student while she was intoxicated. Wow, this person is just fucking awful, isn't it? In March 2018, she had sex with an 18-year-old student. Like, that's a little bit different because, like, he's at least of age. You know, at the same time, the teacher is forbidden to have sexual contact with a student, even if the student has reached age majority. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I understand that. Yeah. So she was spared prison time. She was fired from her job. She surrendered her teaching license. And she will not have to register as a sex defender? You mean offender, right? Not sex defender. She's not defending any sex here, dude. Okay. So wait, because alcohol was an issue in the case, she got off lightly? It's kind of bullshit, isn't it? Like, if the genders were reversed, that guy would be in pound you in the ass prison for the next 25 years. I gotta move this. I gotta move it. Okay, there you go. What was this again? Oh, yeah, okay. Courtney Pong. You guys know who she is? Tonight, I shut down a string of misogynistic stand-up comics. As in, I walked on stage in the middle of one of them talking, addressed the audience, offered a full refund, told them it would not be tolerated here, and pulled the show. Pulled the show and its comics from our theater immediately. Lights on, go home. I've never felt more alive than right now. So Courtney Pong, she runs a theater. And this story kind of went viral because someone told a misogynistic joke in her theater. And as the owner, she walked on stage and just axed the show and threw everybody out. I mean, that is her right. It's her place. But, I mean, if you expect to run a successful business, this is not how you do it. Let's see. Misogynist comedians can stay out of Roselandale. The owner of a comedy spot in Roselandale shut down a series of stand-up sets last night after she says she had had enough of a string of racist, sexist jokes. So Courtney Pong owns the Rossi Square Theater on Basil Street, where she runs improv and etc. And there were, Then even got off to a bad start trying to crack a joke about his segregated audience. There were 2 black men in the small crowd of about 17 people, all men. Then over the next 40 minutes or so, she said she cringe listened to a number of this bitch jokes and finally had enough when one guy told a joke about how he couldn't understand why Uber fired him for making women customers ride in the trunk. That, she said, is when she realized, wait a minute, I own this place. Sitting at the sound table at the back of the theater, she hit a button that rang a loud bell, walked to the front, and announced that the night was over and she would give refunds to the 4 paying customers. The other 13 people in the room were friends of the performers. So wait, presumably these 13 people are probably on the side of the performer. I mean, maybe they're not, but like, you know, if they're friends and they know what his comedy is like, maybe they are. And 4 people actually bought tickets to get in. That was it. Right. It's not okay, and it's not who we are, she told the audience. Is this a joke or is this part of the act? One man asked. So she refunded the 4 people who gave her money that night. I don't know if this woman's going to be in business for much longer, dude. I have a feeling that this theater is going to be shut down. Wow, dude. She had a 49-seat theater. Okay? Only 4 people were paying customers. The other 13 got in for free. She said that she wants a space that is inclusive. I have a feeling that you're not going to have a space at all. Yeah. She said that after she shut things down, most of the people went across the street to the Napper Tandy's bar. She said that after she and the one woman in the place working the front desk closed up, she followed over She followed them over and talked to the paying customers to explain why she felt she had to close down the performance. She said one of the paying customers was a BC student, and that it broke my heart to think he might think that punch-down humor, like going after women, was okay. The comedians never acknowledged me, she said. Well, why the fuck would they? Like, you ruined their night. You act like a fucking curmudgeon. You throw them out of the place. Why should they go over and have a conversation with you? You fucking moron. Also, she deleted her Twitter account. It's gone. I actually decided to look her up just to see if there was anything spicy like behind the scenes here. She deleted her Twitter. She didn't delete her Instagram, but her Instagram is now private. And she has a YouTube channel that has like nothing going on it. It has one video from 2 months ago that has like no views, and one video from 12 years ago that has no views. And even in the video from 12 years ago, she's kind of insufferable. So, but she seems like she's like a student at a comedy school in that video, and now she runs like a failing theater. So it's like, well, I guess things are working out exactly as they should. Let's go to this one here. Islamic State weapons in Yemen trace back to the U.S. government. You know, you think America would have smartened up by now about funding their enemies, but it seems like not. There's actually 2 links on Arms Watch. These are like detailed reports. $3 from John Slowowski. No merit for unless she refunds her drinks. Thanks, man. But yeah, there's like 2 reports here, and they're just like describing how American weapons end up getting sold to ISIS. Like, guys, can you figure this shit out? Like, okay, this person, she's some kind of like actual reporter. What, Dilyana? I can't pronounce that last name. She's like an Indian woman who's some kind of reporter for Arms Watch, which like kind of just tracks the paper trail of arms going around the world. And it turns out a whole bunch of weapons are going from the United States to ISIS. So recently, I anonymously received explosive documents from the Serbian state-owned arms companies, including emails, internal memos, contracts, photos, deliveries, packing lists with a lot of numbers of weapons and their buyers. Among the leaked documents, I also received scanned passports of arms dealers and government officials from the United States, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. They have been involved in the trafficking of at least 3 million pieces of Serbian weapons, mortar shells, and rockets to Yemen and Syria in the last 3 years. Tracking the lot number of these Serbian weapons, I was able to identify and trace mortar shells in the hands of Islamic State terrorists in Yemen back to their buyer, the U.S. government. These documents expose the biggest lie in U.S. foreign policy, officially fighting terrorism while secretly supporting it. And then there's a picture of an American. Yeah, the Pentagon has deployed special U.S. forces in Yemen, and then meanwhile there's an American posing with presumably ISIS rebels. Oops. Well, this is stuff that's, I think it happened both under Obama and under Trump. Is that an appeal to authority fallacy? Yes, I did watch the debate. So anyway, these 2 articles are interesting, and they're probably worthy of like their own video because there's so much here. But it's basically just the paper trail of how Americans are selling weapons to their enemies, which just seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? Like what could possibly be the purpose of this? You know, all of these, like, why would you do this? Why would you sell weapons and then go and like fight people who are fighting you with your own weapons? Like, it just seems dumb. Maybe I just don't understand the intricacies of international politics. Maybe I just don't get it, you know? Maybe I just don't get it. Anyway. Check this out. My friends all disappeared in midlife. Is that because I don't have children? As a childless, unmarried woman of 56 years old, it is difficult to admit that I need my friends more than they need me. This was published on November 14th, 2019. Man, you know, I am a firm believer, and I know that probably most of you in the chat don't agree with me, but I am a firm believer that you do not need to have kids to have a fulfilled, happy, whole, complete life. You just don't. Okay? People are asking for the links of those two? I'll give them to you. Okay. So I'm a firm believer that you don't have to have kids to have a... I can't post the link. It's hold on. Maybe does this work? Here, try out these links. These ones might work if you want to read them. But I'm a complete believer that you don't have to... I don't think being childless is hell at all. I think what it is that you need some kind of guiding principle throughout your life. You'll realize it later. Yeah, I'm old enough to realize it. Like when I was 19, I said I didn't want kids. They said wait till you're 30 and you'll want them. Well, I'm past 30 now and I still don't want them. So no. No. What I think you need is a guiding principle of your life, some kind of foundation, something that gives it meaning. That now for a lot of people that's kids. It's very easy it's very, very, very easy to have kids and then have meaning because the kids become the meaning. But like I know Jordan Peterson outlined a checklist of things that you need to have or else you'll have depression, and that's just that. You know, if you don't have these things, at least most of these things, you will have clinical depression. He said kids, family, friends, a job that pays the bills, something productive to do outside of work. All right? You have those 5 things. If you have at least 4 of them, then you're fine. All right? You're fine. So, for example, if you have a job, something productive to do with your time outside of work, a robust family life, and a robust friendship life, and you don't have kids, you're probably okay. You know, you can derive enough meaning from a childless life if you have other things set in order. You know, if you just have fucking nothing going on, then yeah, you will absolutely lack meaning in your life. In fact, here, consider this: if you have kids, but you have no partner, and you have no friends, and you have no job, and you have no hobbies, your kids won't matter. You won't be feeling any kind of meaning out of that. Your life's going to be complete shit. You know what I mean? So no, you don't need children. I mean, people say, "Oh, it's something to pass on," but the honest truth is, the most meaningful part of you that you want to pass on, the most meaningful part of you that you want to pass on will be gone at one point. Like, doesn't matter whether you have kids or not, you will die. It doesn't matter if you have a partner or not, you will die. It doesn't matter all the money you make. It doesn't matter all the deeds you accomplish. It doesn't matter where you go, what you've done, what you've experienced. Eventually, you will die. And to you, the entire universe will cease to exist. It'll be gone. We all live in the shadow of a personal apocalypse. So what do you do with that, you know? What can you do with that? Lots of people just fall into nihilism and then ruin their own lives and make it even worse, you know? If the final moments of life for everyone universally are just going to be suffering, sadness, and death, well then, that doesn't mean that the rest of your life has to be suffering, sadness, and death. That means you can at least do meaningful things up to the moment, and then you die, you know? And that's just how it is. But that doesn't mean that everything's all doom and gloom, you know? So there are people who, like, they have kids, and they're still like, man, even though I had kids, and now, like, those kids are off having grandkids, and, you know, there's some momentary comfort in the feeling that, you know, your genetic line has been secured for another couple generations. You still die. You're still gone. You still eventually vanish. And you don't come back. So, it's like, any kind of meaning that you can derive from life is good enough. And it doesn't need to be children. It doesn't need to be children. That's one way to do it. It's a very legitimate way to do it. There's a reason that most people do it that way. But it doesn't have to be children, you know? No, see, I don't see this as a doomer philosophy. Because even though the final moments of life for everyone will always be suffering and pain and death and sorrow, that doesn't mean that that your entire life has to be that. Until that moment arrives, the entire world's open to you. You have the opportunity to live your best life. And I think you have an obligation to yourself to do it. I don't think, I don't think that that having kids will push that off. I think even people who have kids, they still end up feeling that existential dread of falling away into darkness and nothingness when they die. It just happens. Kids will not save you in the moment, but they will save you for all the other moments of your life. The kids will save you in terms of meaning. They won't save you at the moment of death, though. Nothing will. So what's important is to find meaning up until that moment, I think. So, yeah, see, Torvar, I'm 100% doomer and I have 2 kids. Exactly. I'm sure your kids provide meaning in your life, but they're not going to save you from dying. You know what I mean? It's not just about meaning. Imagine what it would be like when you're 70 years old and you have no family to take care of and put up your senile butt. Here's the thing, man. My grandparents, they weren't living grandpas with my parents. My parents aren't going to be taken care of by me or my sister. We live too far away. It's just not the way the family works anymore, unfortunately. Div, spit out the black pill. Be happy to love your woman. Have 3+ kids to propagate the race. Listen, DRT, thanks for the $5, but my girlfriend's Jewish. My kids won't be white. Sorry, dude. You could say, Dev, that life gets the last sip. Yes, it does. So, listen, this all sounds doom and gloom, but I actually view this as a very hopeful philosophy, because it means that you can still have a whole bunch of meaningful things. It doesn't matter that your life is bounded by mortality and death. You can still have meaningful things up to that point. Those meaningful things can still get you through the days up until that point. So, yes, Naomi's Jewish, dude. Naomi's Jewish. Tip of Frey, $2. Thanks, man. Say you're an absurdist? Not really. I don't think so. You're going to say about yourself. Well, here's the thing. I never had to convince myself because I always knew I didn't want children. It's one of those things. People that say I always knew I was gay or something. I always knew I didn't want children. I always knew. And there's many different reasons for why. I want kids so I can be a burden to them when I'm old and useless. Yeah. I mean, maybe the better option is to keep yourself in relatively good health until you finally die. Like my grandfather on my mom's side, he died at 85, and the day before he died, he was mowing the lawn and he was feeding the birds and he was working in his garden. He was capable of being an independent person up until the moment of death. It's there you go. Anyway, the point is that you don't need to have kids to have a meaningful life. But if you're not having kids, you better have something else to do. You better have something else to put in that. I didn't think I saw it, Patrick, your super chat. But if you're not having kids, I'll scroll up. If you're not having kids, you had better have something to put in that hole, that meaning hole. And there are other things you can put in. It doesn't have to be children, but it has to be something. And this woman in this article, to get back to the actual news, sounds like she doesn't have fucking anything. She's unmarried as well. Maybe you should have found a partner. Patrick, $5. I missed this. Sorry. It's because this audience use Shia extremists like Al Qaeda and ISIS to fight the youth in Yemen. I see. Okay. Yeah, I'd actually be interested in that video, Patrick. Eaten by cats, Dev. Eaten by cats. Not me. Here's the thing. I might actually adopt kids before I would have my own. If I ever change my mind and end up wanting kids, I'd probably adopt them. There are many reasons that both my girlfriend and I do not want to pass on our genetics. There's many reasons. However, if we need to do it, we can adopt. That's okay. Adopting a child is still it would still provide meaning in the same way. Thanks, Dr. Mambo. Anyway, let's actually read this article. I've been rambling now for a little bit. Let's actually read this. Friendships have always been the bedrock of my life. Oh, God. Fucking Telegraph, shut up. I don't want to... Okay, I'm not going to read past this because I guess... But you know what? I think we can figure out what's going on anyway. $3 from John. No merit... Oh, wait. No merit for unless you were friends with their drinks. Are you doing that? Is it the same one? Oh, well, thanks. Okay. Anyway, friendships have always been the bedrock of my life. I love the closeness of people I feel in sync with. The conspiratorial chats huddled in the corner at a friend's party. The 4-hour girly lunches. Part gossip, part psychoanalysis. Part crying with laughter over the untangling of yet another naughty romantic problem. They validate who I am and are a tonic to my soul. This stuff is what you do when in your teens and your 20s. You don't do this when you're a 56-year-old woman. You should have moved on to a different stage of life. Like, these days should be over for you. All right? In my 20s at university, I was part of a tight-knit female group who talked philosophy, dated wildly inappropriate men, and held each other's hair back after too much cheap alcohol. This might be your problem. Maybe you wasted your 20s. Maybe. Yeah, John, it showed me a repeat of your super chat for some reason. Maybe it charged you twice, and now I get double the amounts. I'll check the archive, the archive.is. We'll see if this thing's actually been archived. This ridiculous article. Let's see. Come on. Nope, not archived. Doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter because V's playing Star Wars right now, I think. It doesn't matter because we all know what's going on here. We all know what kind of person this is, what she's talking about. Holy fuck, there's a YouTube account called Heather Hayer's Corpse. Don't pass on your genes then. The future look like me then, and blacks and Arabs. I don't care about race. I really don't. I honestly don't give a shit about that. You know? It's the ideas inside the heads that are more important than, like, the skin color of the heads. You know? But anyway. She's you in 10 years. Yeah, no, because I don't do any of this shit. Like, okay, I've moved past the male equivalent of this. I don't, like, party anymore, man. Let's move on, because this is what's interesting here, guys. This is her. The writer at the Telegraph, Kate Mulvey. So, here's the article that I clicked on. My friends have all disappeared in midlife. Is it because they don't have children? Her most recent article was, I'm a sober alcoholic. So she sounds like she was describing one in this article. The party season is terrifying for me. This is how I cope. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's go through her article history and see if we can kind of discern a pattern here. All right. Can a conscious dating coach help me find love in midlife? I'm used to the age-old insults for dating much younger men. Why women are ditching their families to holiday with strangers. The disastrous truth about dating significantly younger men. Text talk, spelling mistakes, and emoji. This is what really turns women off, believe me. The 13 things you only know when you're a midlife woman who dates men half your age. Confessions of a Midlife Online Dater. How it feels to lie about your age and be lied to. I spent my savings on an elite matchmaking agency only to meet an array of mediocre men. Well, to be fair, you're pretty mediocre yourself, so. I may be 54, but you won't catch me hanging up my bikini just yet. Christine Lampard hates being a blonde, but science says life is better when you are one. Check this out. Why it's time to spring clean your friends. She made a big deal about her friends abandoning her. My friends all disappeared in midlife. But you know what? Better spring clean them out anyway. 10 tips on how to survive holidaying with friends and their kids this summer. How to channel your inner Madame Macron. Midlife funster or festival diva. The middle-aged ravers or gravers you'll see at a festival this summer. The new mummy wars is having children really make you see things differently. It's cuffing season. So I'm on the hunt for a winter-only boyfriend. Winter-only boyfriend? Budgets, bedtimes, and bikinis on the floor. Why single girls' holidays are destined for failure. I'm too old to be a bridesmaid at 52, aren't I? So, there's a pattern here, isn't there? What do you guys think the pattern is? You guys think the problem is her? You guys think the problem is society? What do you think? Here. Is the problem... Here, everyone say A for her and B for everyone else is the problem. Who's the problem here? Because she seems to be saying B in a lot of her... at least in the headlines, I get like a very, very strong B from this. Yep. Jesus, this is the first time I've ever been able to tell everything I need to know based on what they write. Yeah. This is the Telegraph. A B A F C A B A bunch of A's. C must be everyone else. Ha. We live in a society, dude. Oh wait, it's my fault. I did this to her apparently. Shit, dude. All right, let's move on. Greta Thunberg awarded International Children's Peace Prize. All right. I mean, at least she didn't win the actual real one, right? Okay. Swedish teen activist Thunberg was awarded an International Children's Peace Prize on Wednesday for her work in the struggle against climate change, which generated school children across the world. No, it didn't. It didn't resonate with anyone. You guys just push in the media a whole bunch. She's like the social media equivalent of like a 4chan forced meme that nobody likes. Yeah. Oh, did I tell you guys that my roommate Dave and his girlfriend Dom, they went to a Halloween party as Donald Trump ignoring Greta Thunberg. Let's see if I can find the Facebook picture. I think you guys will like it. Dave and Dom, they're my co-hosts on Game Boomers. If you watch Game Boomers tonight, the Catherine stream, Catherine Full Body, you will see them. Because they co-host that show with me. Let me just look up. I'll get it. Oh, also, I have like an ex-girlfriend of mine on Facebook. I'm on Facebook now trying to get that picture. I have an ex-girlfriend of mine on Facebook. She recently had a baby, and she's 38. She was 5 years older than me when we dated like 15 years ago. But she's 38. And she had her first kid. And the kid kind of looks like a Down syndrome baby. And I'm like, okay. Okay. But here, I'll bring in... Here we go. Here it is. That's Dave as Trump. And then that's his girlfriend as Greta Thunberg. They're actually on the Game Boomers set right now. That's what all the green is for, is the green screen of the Game Boomers set where we took this photo. But yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good Halloween costume, all things considered. Let's continue. She sent... Wait, hold on. Thunberg could not accept her award in person at the... Who's Dave? He's my co-host on Game Boomers. You can accept the award in person at the ceremony in The Hague because she is crossing the Atlantic by boat on her way to an international climate conference in Madrid. She sent a message. She was incredibly grateful and honored for the prize. Well, good for her, all right? I have a feeling that... You know what? I think that she's gonna be like really fucked up mentally when she's older. Like when her 15 minutes of fame is done and she's like discarded by the establishment, she's probably gonna have like some serious problems. She's fucking 16 years old, dude. Like this kind of thing is gonna ruin her, I think. $20 from George Matthew, thanks. A measure of a life is who's around your deathbed. I actually disagree. I completely disagree with that. Is there no one? Some people who are already fighting over your stuff before you have even kicked it? Or are they decent people that might mourn together and celebrate you? Yeah, see, that's one way to measure it, but it's not the only way to measure a life, you know? There are definitely moments where, like, a person dies not in, like, an everyone's around you scenario, and they still had a life worth living, you know? Everyone keeps asking, stop asking who Dave is. God damn it, you all know already. Link, please. Okay. Here. Tricon, I think you're asking for this link. That's my Game Boomers link right there. Boom. There it is. But yeah, regarding the whole, like, when you're in denial about your biological wants, like, I don't think men have a biological clock. I'm pretty sure women don't either. I'm pretty sure that's mostly sociological. But even if they do, there's so many women that don't. It becomes, like, it's definitely a minor issue, I think. Like, for example, I have my own reasons for not wanting kids. But Naomi doesn't want them. I guess I might as well just tell you. Naomi doesn't want kids because both of her parents were absentee parents. They were constantly fighting. They were constantly drunk. They constantly left her in charge of her 3 siblings. All right. So she spent her entire youth raising these 3 young kids. And now she's 23. Her parents finally divorced, and the family is scattered across Canada at the moment. And she was given the option, like, okay, well, you're gonna live with your mom and take care of these kids, or you're gonna live with your dad and take care of these kids. And now the kids are like going off to high school and stuff. And she said, "Fuck you! I'm just gonna move in with my boyfriend." And so she cut off her family, and now she lives with me. And I've asked her about kids, and she says, "Listen, I've had to raise my 3 siblings. I've had to do everything, help with homework and change diapers and feed them and get everything ready and get them ready for school, send them to school, etc., etc., etc." She's like, "I feel like I've had kids already, I've raised those 3 kids more than my parents have," she said. And she says that she's done with it, She feels like she's given her contribution, So I don't blame her for that, If you're forced to raise your siblings because your parents are absentee parents, then yeah, it actually makes complete sense that you wouldn't want to have any more kids. You feel like you've already had your kids, so it's like, I don't want them, and I understand that, right? Did I miss super chat? Hold on, I think I did. People are saying I missed one. I don't see it though. I'm scrolling up. I don't see it here, unfortunately. If I missed one, I'm sorry. Let's continue with this. Actually, there's not much to this one, is it? She just got a bunch of fucking money. She got 100,000 euros for doing nothing. I honestly think that when the world finally moves on from Greta Thunberg, she's just gonna be left as a laughing stock, and I think it's to her disservice. $2 from Russell Patton. Way to let your genetic line die, Dev. I have a sister who might have kids, and I have many cousins who have already had kids. My genetic line is not dead. Okay. You guys want to get pissed about something? This is from comicbookmovie.com. Making a Star Wars film is difficult due to a lack of comics and novels, says Lucasfilm president. Yeah? What about all those comics and novels that you made non-canon, you fucking retards? There's no source material. We don't have comic books. We don't have 800-page novels, says Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy when asked about the difficulties that come with making a Star Wars movie. You're fucking stupid. Wow. What a piece of shit. Yeah, Dice has it. You're only 23, bro. Should we change your mind? Nah. You know, I thought that too when I first met her. I don't think that anymore. Now that I've known her as well as I know her, I don't think she's changing her mind. And you know what? People thought I was going to change my mind when I was 23, and I didn't. So yeah, this is ridiculous, isn't it? Almost from the moment of its announcement, longtime Star Wars fans have been decrying the decision by Lucasfilm and Disney to discard the stories of the expanded universe, the books and comics from the 80s and 90s that told from the Star Wars universe since after Return of the Jedi. So yeah, she basically just says, they said in order to give maximum creative freedom to the filmmakers and also preserve an element of surprise and discovery for the audience, Star Wars episodes 7 to 9 will not tell the same story as told in the post-Return of the Jedi expanded universe. So, all non-canon. Fast forward to 2019, and most Star Wars fans would agree they would rather have seen the expanded universe adapted for film instead of the tale it's unfolded so far in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Yes. While it's possible that J.J. Abrams' Rise of the Skywalker, it's not. This is going to be like a nightmarish movie. It's going to suck so bad. It's a large factor why Star Wars movies are going on hiatus. Yeah, because you fucked it. Hey Bob, you fucked the most beloved franchise of all time. You fucked it up harder than like anyone. Like the decline of Star Wars is like legendary. Like you know how fast Pro Jared was losing subs like at the peak of his decline? That's Star Wars in like a social sense. It's wild. It's wild, dude. Episodes 7 to 9 are not canon at this point, and I refuse to think otherwise. Yeah, okay. Every one of these movies is a particularly hard nut to crack. There's no source material. We don't have comic books. We don't have 800-page novels. We don't have anything other than passionate storytellers. Fuck you. Like, you ruined the new trilogy. You know what? Okay, Episode 7 could have been the beginning of a good trilogy. Episode 8 fucked the series in the ass. Like, it's done. Star Wars is dead, man. It's just done. From Lamented Guide, $5. I wonder if she'd ever heard of Yuuzhan Vong, Darth Caedius, the One Sith, Mara Jade. Yeah, dude, why not Mara Jade? We play the new Star Wars game Jedi Fallen Order on Game Boomers like once a week, and I dress up as a fat Boris Johnson looking Luke Skywalker for that stream. But we play that on the show, and we talk about like what could have been with Star Wars quite a bit. So I'm a bit talked out on the topic right now, but yeah, it could have been a lot better, you know? Something else. I'm going to scroll up because Dragonfat said something. Yeah, it's still passed down as a genetic level, but my surname is dead. Remember, Dev is Canadian, nothing is valuable lost. The honest truth is, Dragonfat, I'm not attached to my surname at all. If my surname disappears, I'm okay with that. Doesn't bother me. And like you said, the genes are still passed down for whatever good that's worth. You guys want to watch some videos? All right. $5 from King Excalibur. They broke their money printing machine before the new car smell wore off. Yeah. Trash person, dude. Finn as the protagonist of like a new trilogy would have been awesome. Would have been awesome, dude. Okay. We're gonna watch this. You guys listen to this and just watch how this event unfolds, okay? It says all lives matter.
It's on the fucking space! Get the fuck away from me! No, he's been fucking harassing me! He's been fucking harassing me!
I'm gonna step back now. That was a battery charge. Oh, sorry.
You're the one who fucking spilled my name the entire fucking internet!
Hey, let's see close to
It's your fucking
sorry.
fault!
I don't want to take
You
it.
have to stand this close to me! When you fucking sacrifice my fucking safety!
You're making it feel unsafe.
Fuck you! You sacrificed my fucking safety, and you're acting like I'm the one spreading lies. And then you're absurd. Just stand right next to me.
Wow, dude. Just like there's a healthy distance between them. He just holds up an all lives matter sign. And she loses her fucking mind. Like, here, hold on. Let me skip ahead a bit. There's a moment, like, he just has this look on his face. Look at that. He's like, this is happening. This is the state of things right now. If you only knew how bad it would get. Okay, let's go to the next one. Here's a second video. She failed swearing 101. Thanks, John. Thanks for the $3. Check this out. You guys might like this video.
Need to make you safer on college campuses and on your schools. You know what they said? Get men involved. Engage the rest of the community. And that's when we started this movement on the college campuses to fundamentally change the culture. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger other than in self-defense, and that's rarely ever occurs. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big, no, I really mean it. It's a gigantic issue. And we have to make it clear.
Look at Kamala Harris.
We need to make you safer on
She's
college
laughing.
campuses and on your schools. You know what they say? And we have to make it clear.
She's trying to fucking keep her laughter in. Yeah, Joe. You just got to keep punching at it, eh? Oh my fucking god, dude. Man, Joe Biden, he's going to have a stroke on stage before the election's over. Jesus. Okay. Someone posted me this. Remember how I did like that video? And part of the video involved, it was like last week, and it was about color, you know, how like your ability to see the difference between different colors was partially affected by your conceptualization of that color, you know, and it was very much it was kind of a postmodernist point of view, but it was actually backed up in fact in that, you know, your perception is changed by what you know, what you notice and what you don't notice is changed directly by the thoughts that you think, which is, I guess it kind of makes sense. So in response to that video, someone sent me this. Russian blues reveal effects of language on color discrimination. What color discrimination here means is just, it doesn't mean like discrimination. It means like the ability to identify one color from another. Also, I think I missed a super. Let me just scroll up. Yeah, from Russell Patton, $2. She can be arrested for assault right there. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. So what's going on here is that just the ability to know, to tell that a color is different from another color. Okay. So for example, they show off, there's two different words in Russian for light blue and dark blue. They don't have a word that's just blue. Light blue and dark blue are considered to be two culturally distinct things. I think it's Sini and Goluboy are for the two types of blue, and these are words that are learned early by Russian children, so it's like deep in their culture, and so they view these two types of blue as being significantly more different than we do, because we only have one word for it, which is blue, which is very interesting, I think. So the study goes on about cross-linguistic differences in color perception, and it's a very long study, which is not worth reading here. But in terms of the results, yeah, Russian speakers showed a category advantage when tested without interference, whereas English speakers did not. The category advantage found for Russian speakers was disrupted by verbal but not spatial interference. English speakers did not show a category advantage in any condition. Further, effects of language were most pronounced for more difficult discriminations. So, basically, if you have a conceptualization for an idea, you process things, real life things around that idea more easily, which, makes sense to me, right? It's very hard to introduce a new idea, but once the idea has been introduced, you can kind of work with it. You can play with it some more. And there's definitely probably a biological component to that, Maybe once you understand an idea, you kind of see the world differently. Which makes a lot of sense to me because, I remember very, very clearly looking at a book as a young kid. This is a very clear memory that I've had. Looking at a book as a young kid before I knew how to read. And in the memory, the text is jumbled. But I know what the book was. It was a book of the Prince and the Prince and the Pauper. I read it later when I was a bit older, but I had that book just in my bedroom as a kid, and I couldn't read yet. And I pulled it out, and I couldn't read it, and in the memory, it doesn't say Prince and the Pauper. It has random unknowable symbols. So I do think that there's definitely a case where when you understand things, it actually affects your biology. That makes sense to me anyway. Let's continue. Student who said Muslims should be wiped off the face of the earth is facing jail. Now, I gotta say, I don't think Muslims should be wiped off the face of the earth. However, I don't think you should be going to fucking jail for saying something that dumb. It's just stupidity. Maybe you should be... Jesus Christ. Okay. A student who posted a video on Facebook saying Muslims should be wiped off the face of the earth is facing being jailed. Oh no! He issued a call to arms during a 17-minute rant on Facebook shortly after a series of terrorist attacks in 2017, and he has a trial. His trial was last week, and he claimed he was exercising his right to free speech, which he was, but apparently he was guilty of inciting religious hatred, which is frankly that shouldn't. God damn it! No, man, hate speech is still free speech. The left-wingers are wrong. Hate speech is still free speech. The right-wingers are wrong. Degenerate speech is still free speech. It's all fucking free speech. You combat bad speech with more speech. You don't pull bullshit like this. Mentioned guide, $5. Did you get any further in Pokemon Sword and Shield? You beat it. You hate the story, hate some of the new mons. Dynamax is getting old, but man, the quality of the changes are great. I have not played it since I played it on Game Boomers last, man, and something wasn't clicking with me. I'll go back and try it again because we're done with Death Stranding now. So I'll go back and try it again. But I don't know. Something feels off about it. I don't understand. I don't get it. Okay. He was granted bail till the 29th. Well, he will be sentenced for the offense. That was a couple days ago. I wonder if he's been sentenced. Maybe we should look this guy up. Hold on. Okay, what's his name? Lewis Duxbury. If he got sentenced on the 29th, we should know what happened to him. Let's look it up. Oh, here's his YouTube channel. That looks fucking terrible. '20th, 19th, 16th, 12th. There's no news on it. I can't find any. Yeah, the most recent news is from the 20th, which is the date that this was put out. I can't find anything newer. Maybe it didn't happen. Who knows? Check this out. Some ICE alerts on Twitter. These cases have all been identified by ICE to be illegal aliens subject to an ICE detainer, and yet, per current local policy, they would be released back into the local community without notice to ICE. So, for example, this guy. He has a criminal history, sexual abuse of a minor, second-degree rape. There's his name. He's from Mexico. He's an illegal immigrant. And the lawful order to detain him is not honored by Prince George's County Detention Center in Maryland. It is ridiculous to me that there are actually police departments or law officials, like law enforcement officials in the United States who are just saying like, yeah, I know that this guy has a charge against him, but we're just gonna let him go. Like, what the fuck? Let me just click this link here. Non-cooperative jurisdictions. Criminal offenders across the country are shielded by current non-cooperation policies. ICE has repeatedly asked local jurisdictions to reconsider non-cooperation policies because those policies put politics before public safety. On Friday, ICE released more examples of foreign nationals with active ICE detainers who have been detained for serious criminal offenses. ICE asks each of these jurisdictions to transfer the individuals to federal custody instead of releasing them to the community where they may reoffend. So here's a bunch of known illegal immigrants who have committed crimes, and when they get arrested by local police, they don't hand them over to immigration officials. They just let them go. What the fuck is wrong with the United States? Jesus. I don't understand the hatred of ICE. I really don't. Shuan Head said recently that ICE will be a stain on the United States' history. I don't know. I'm not entirely convinced of that. I don't get it, man. I don't know. I don't get why people hate ICE. I mean, no, hold on. I do get why people hate ICE. I don't get why normally reasonable people hate ICE. Here's local news happening in this city. Posthumous ruling for LU, that's the Laurentian University, the university here in my city, for a Laurentian University professor, a win for academic freedom in Canada. Michael Persinger, who died last year, was improperly removed from teaching first-year psychology course in 2015. So this guy, he was a teacher at the local university here in this town. And Dom, in fact, the Greta Thunberg girl, she played Greta Thunberg at the that Halloween party with Dave. She actually had him as a professor when she was going to school. And she was actually quite personally affected by this story because he was improperly accused and thrown out of the university. The university in this town, by the way, is just lefty fucking hot garbage. There's even like a local Antifa chapter based out of that university, and I've for a while I've wanted to buy a GoPro and infiltrate their meetings. But as it turns out, I think all the people that ran the chapter left, they graduated from the school and moved on. So I think it's kind of dead now. But if it ever resurfaces, I will definitely get a GoPro and go there and see if I can get into Antifa. I'm totally going to get into Antifa. It'll be hilarious. Okay, so an arbitrator has concluded that Laurentian University's administration failed to consider the late psychology professor Michael Persinger's academic freedom when he was removed from teaching a course in December 2015 after a student complaint. Persinger, perhaps best known for the development of the God helmet, a device used to study creativity, religious experiences, and the effects of stimulation on the temporal lobes, passed away in August 2018 at the age of 73. While he was a sitting member of Laurentian's Senate, Persinger clashed with Laurentian's administration several times, including his above-mentioned removal from a first-year psychology course. OMG knows. I think OMG actually watches Game Boomers. He's playing up the meme. The university said at the time its issue was with Persinger having students sign a document warning them that they would encounter some words and language that they may find offensive. So, here's the issue, all right? Persinger's teaching a first-year psychology course, okay? And because everyone in the university system right now is a fucking man baby, they're a goddamn child, they can't handle the fact that sometimes in adult education, you talk about adult things. Sometimes stuff might be uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to push the boundaries of your own limited acceptance to actually learn new stuff. So Persinger, seeing which way the winds were blowing academically, said, okay, well, rather than having people complain at me that they walked into my class unknowingly and got triggered, I'm going to make them sign a sheet so that they know that this is not necessarily going to be all sunshines and rainbows, and there's going to be stuff happening in this class that might be, a bit squeamish because we're talking about serious topics in this class. And the student complained that they had to fucking sign a paper saying that they would encounter some words in language that they may find offensive. That was the reason he was removed. For warning them that the class might have some offensive stuff in it. Laurentian University is a fucking joke. All right? It's a fucking joke. And Dave just graduated from there. He said it was a joke. Dom graduated from there a few years ago. She said it was a joke. I almost attended it. In fact, to get my master's degree, I decided not to. I decided to do YouTube instead. And I say it's a joke. It's a fucking joke of a system. It's a joke of a school. It was improper and contrary to the collective agreement for the university to have removed Dr. Persinger from teaching and to have issued the related email to students in that course, and in doing so have failed to consider Dr. Persinger's academic freedom. Yeah. No shit. And yeah, like I said, Dom took this very, very personally because she had this guy as a professor back when he was still alive and teaching, and apparently, he was a very good professor, So the decision binds the administration to follow proper consultative process going forward prior to the removal of a professor from the classroom. Okay, fair enough. The university has also agreed to not publicly invite complaints against faculty members and never again utilize a standalone telephone number for complaints. Okay. Academic freedom is a necessary condition for the free pursuit of knowledge and understanding. Yes, it is. And if you're too childish to handle that, get the fuck out of the classroom till you're older. Trigger warnings are triggering. Yeah, dude. So anyway, even though he died, after his death, he got vindicated. Too little, too late, but it's something at least. Excess suicide rate among same-sex married is decreasing in the Nordic countries. A newly published study shows that people who enter a same-sex marriage have higher suicide rates than people entering opposite-sex marriages. But the study also found that across the years since same-sex marriage was legalized, the suicide rate has been decreasing more rapidly among people in same-sex marriages than among those in opposite-sex marriages. See, this makes complete sense to me, It really just kind of seems like, having the society around you at least be outwardly accepting of your lifestyle, assuming that your lifestyle is otherwise safe, would probably be good for somebody's mental health. There's definitely a reason that I'm a supporter of same-sex marriage. There's no real argument against it, frankly, anymore. It's kind of done. Like the debates were had. People who wanted traditional marriage kind of lost the debate, and there's nothing really left to talk about. I went from being an LGBT activist to somebody who was just fed up with it, because once we got same-sex marriage, it was over. Once all legal barriers were swept aside and gay people were allowed to live the same lives as straight people, there's nothing left to do. But they kept going. They went from we just want same-sex marriage to we want to be able to fucking twerk in public libraries at your kids. It's like, fuck you. Anyway, basically, it says that same-sex marriage suicide rates are going down because of same-sex marriage, and that's good. I don't think there's much to this one. It's just we're pleased to note an improvement in the suicide rate. Well, yeah, of course, everyone is. Most people, I would assume. Maybe Muslims are or something, but good news, at least. Good news. No. Yeah. Civil partnership, yes. Marriage, no. No, marriage is fine. I'm okay with it. There's no real problem with it. I can't think of any kind of coherent argument against gay marriage anymore. They all seem to be just kind of nonsense. A Florida dog put a car into reverse and drove it in circles for nearly an hour. So let's watch this shit. Get my headphones on.
This car going around the circle, and it was doing it for about an hour. And when the cops got the door open, the black dog jumped out. I was like, they should give that thing a license.
Yeah?
Yes, you heard that right. A dog, who we now know is a black Labrador named Max, was doing donuts in his owner's Mercury Sable for an hour. There was no human being in that car. It all happened in a cul-de-sac in Port St. Lucie, Florida, on the state's Atlantic coast. Mac's owner had made a wrong turn, stepped out of the car with the motor running, shut the door, and that's when Max, perhaps seized by the same freedom that sends teenagers across America on joyrides, shifted that Mercury Sable into reverse. Welcome to Full Circle. I'm Gary Tuckman in for Anderson. It's an
rough
incredible
driving.
story
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I've seen enough. Very good. Florida dog usurps Florida man. It's still parked it better than a woman. Ba-da-bap. Trudeau appears open to safer opioid proposal in Vancouver. So, the story here. Justin Trudeau wants to create a federal exception to allow people in Vancouver to use hard drugs. And he wants those hard drugs to be state funded. What in the fuck purpose could that serve? Prime Minister Justin Trudeau seems open to a proposal from Vancouver to provide millions of dollars in funding for a safe supply of opioids to reduce overdose deaths. This is so fucking stupid. This is so fucking stupid. The city's health agency has applied for $6 million from Health Canada to allow the safe distribution of diamorphine, a narcotic painkiller more commonly known as heroin. Stewart, that's the mayor of Vancouver, Stewart said that he found it encouraging that Trudeau didn't shut the door to the idea. When the two met, Trudeau said that he wants to work together and open to having a conversation and then looking to us to lead with healthcare professionals to try and figure out the best solutions to these problems. Yeah? Stewart said on average, one person dies every day from an opioid overdose in Vancouver. Well, maybe not providing more is the thing to fucking do. Like, you... Holy shit. Yeah, like... Okay, Symphanius, about 5 years ago, I wanted to move to Vancouver. You're talking about, like, Vancouver being covered in human shit like San Francisco. So, when I was in university, there was like an extended group of friends. Like, there was me and, like, my roommates, and there was Camera Lady, there was Nicole, there was her friends, there were, like, people from university, there were some of Dave's friends, there was Dave. Like, 30 people in total, of all of us, who wanted to, at some point, move to Vancouver. And we were going to, like, go together, you know? As we were finishing school, we were going to go together. Well, at this point, everybody except me and Dave has left town. Half of them went to Vancouver. Half of them went to Ottawa instead. All right? Because we just wanted to get the fuck out of the middle of nowhere, you know? And I have some friends in Vancouver. Like, I know somebody who lives downtown Vancouver. He pays $2,000 a month to rent, like, a house. That's shit. But at least, like, he like lives in a nice city with one of the highest qualities of life in the world. And then it's like, I keep hearing, you know, 5 years ago I really wanted to go to Vancouver, but I keep hearing things like things are getting worse. Things are getting worse. You know, there's more drug problems. The housing bubble hasn't popped yet. There's problems in Vancouver. Ottawa sounds... Shut up. Angerizer, you know who Dave is. Shut the fuck up. There's problems that you can't believe happening in Vancouver. You know? I've been to Ottawa and I've been to Vancouver, and at least back when I went to Vancouver like 10 years ago, it was a nicer city than Ottawa was. But maybe things have changed. You know? Maybe I should be going to Ottawa instead of Vancouver, because this sounds like hell. State-funded heroin. Fuck. Okay, what's the actual proposal? Before I go off the fucking rails, do you have more coffee? I have one last gulp of coffee. Here we go. There it is. That's done. Okay. I'm looking for good solutions to the opioid crisis. Vancouver was the first jurisdiction in Canada to open a legally sanctioned supervised injection site. Maybe I'm too small-brained to understand. Why does this... See you later, Warren. Enjoy your shower. But why does this fucking happen? Like... I don't know if this is going to make things better, guys. Like, there's decriminalization, which makes sense. But now it's like the government will actually step in and be like, here, you can do your drugs here. Like, this seems to be going too far in the other direction now, you know? State-provided dilation stations. Fuck. Pitch Zajat, I did $2. I did in fact watch the Sargon and Vosh debate yesterday. I did in fact watch it. I talked about it at the start of the stream. Basically, my opinion on it though is that Vosh didn't engage at all. He just like had an autistic breakdown for 2 hours or 4 hours or whatever it was. You see, I understand like the whole street drugs and sharing needles is dangerous. People are gonna get drugs anyway, might as well be safe and legal. That's all true. But like the long-term goal should be weeding people off drugs. It really should be, you know. I don't know if this actually accomplishes that. Matches burned $2. Never knew about connect for crime problems. They said it. Oh yeah, dude. Every country has crime problems, man. Of course. Let's continue. Oh yeah. This is on the subreddit r/Hassan Piker. You guys know who Hassan Piker is? Works for the Young Turks. Hassan exploited my labor for YouTube videos. Hassan gave me false hope of a full-time editing position and used me to edit between 7 and 8 videos for him. $3 from John. Read the book Chasing the Scream. Okay. Thanks, man. All these videos leading to gather a combined 300,000 views. And leading me not to get a single dime or a job. In June of this year, I heard him say numerous times in stream that he wants a YouTube editor, and on the same day, I reach out to him to ask if he's cool with people editing his gameplay videos. This is the Hassan Abi Edits channel, and please note I have no expectations for compensation on the videos on this channel. They are a separate channel, and they made me the job by showing I can make a video daily, and because I thought the playthroughs were funny. He said he was, and on the same day, I finished the video which went up on Hassan Abi Edits. I also edited a conversation he had and sent it to him, which he uploads to his channel. I asked him if he wants anything else, and he gives me 2 video suggestions, which I do both of the following days. I left an additional video for him 2 days later, which as well goes on his channel. After he uploads it, I tell him if it's not obvious enough, I'm looking to fill in his YouTube editor position. All he simply said is, I can tell, haha, and it took me asking for more info for him to say he's looking for somebody doing exactly what you're doing. So I assume I have this position in the bag. And my videos keep going up on his channel, and he even started that he wants somebody doing something exactly what I'm doing. He then says, I'll get back to you ASAP, and turns on his stream. He said nothing to me for 2 days, until he asked me if I watched his coverage of the Dem debate, seemingly so I can make a video of it, which I did. I try to talk to him casually, all which is ignored, until I send him another video, which goes up on his channel. He messages me a day later, saying he had talked about Kamala, and it was a good segment for people who wanted to publish. So I do it. Finally, I edit a video for him, which ends up going on his Instagram. I take a vacation that I had planned for a while, and spend some time with my significant other for 2 weeks. Hassan and I talk briefly, but after this, he does not say anything to me for 3 months. After 3 months of leaving me unread, he simply sends me old gameplay footage and says, someone sent me this for you if you want to use it. Someone sent me this for you if you want to use it on your channel. He speaks to me for a total of like 4 lines, and after I say I can't edit for free. Then he ignores me until current date this month, where I messaged him last week if he's looking for an editor, which is also ignored. Here's the entire album of our DMs. I feel like I've been exploited to upload a few videos that was strung along in hopes of a job. I was simply paid an exposure, like 3 Twitter followers. Ironically enough, as I had heard both Hassan and his community speak ill of that. I put in hours and hours of effort and time into trying to get a position I had heard about and was not even told that I was doing well, only to get ghosted and not compensated for a single cent of my time. I have grown increasingly disappointed over time about this, and a desire for having spent my summer differently. If Hassan wasn't really in the market for a video editor, she would have just not denied me and told me he's not looking for paid work. Instead, he praised me, acknowledged what I was looking for, and kept uploading my work. So this guy got basically screwed by Hassan Piker. We've all known for a while that Hassan Piker's a piece of shit, right? You know? Like, Mujahideen are the brave soldiers attacking America. Right? That kind of thing. $2 from Matapasta. Liberalism is a slippery scrub, Devo. Listen. We're all liberalists here. You understand? Yeah. Wow, the progressive is a slaver. Wow, the Muslim progressive is a slaver. Who would have thought, you know? I feel that like there's a lot of YouTubers out there who believe that they can just get free shit for just on the grounds of them being YouTubers. Like, I have a following. You're my fan. Surely you'll do it for me for free. I don't do that to anybody. I'm not like that. Sargon's not like that, you know? I've known like Spoonie back in the day used to do that, you know? Frasier from AVG used to do that, you know? This guy does it, you know? Lots of people lots of big YouTubers, like, they don't pay for artwork. They expect fan art, and they just use fan art because people are more than happy to do it for them because they love their channels, you know? But, you know, you can't live on exposure. You can't eat exposure, you know? So, people have actually offered to do artwork for free for my channel. I've been like, no, I pay people. It feels wrong. Even, like, if you want to do fan art, that's fine. I'll show it off in the fan art part of tonight's community stream. But I feel wrong taking, like, official art for free. I have to pay them, you know? But yeah, so this guy basically, he just strung him along, got free editing out of him, never hired him. Hassan Piker's a piece of shit. Maybe you all knew that. Twitter suspends journalist Andy Ngo. Prominent journalist Andy Ngo, who is editor-at-large at the Post Millennial, has been temporarily suspended from Twitter following a response tweet to human rights campaigner, Clinton Foundation operator, and political heir Chelsea Clinton regarding trans murder rates. Okay. You guys heard about this? Chelsea Clinton tweets, since 2013, more than 150 trans people have been murdered in the U.S. The majority of them are black transgender women. Oops, I accidentally clicked it. I'm out of past to $2. Speaking of pay, when will you pay moderators? Never. Because it's not a job. Like, if you don't want to be a mod anymore, I understand. It's okay. But I definitely don't have enough money to pay moderators. There's no way. I have no way to pay for moderators, dude. I can't even pay Dave or Naomi, dude. But anyway. So, you have to remember all lives love, hold the ones in our hearts, etc. So, here's Chelsea Clinton talking about all these dead trans people. All right. In response, Andy Ngo tweeted the following. The U.S. is one of the safest countries for trans people. The murder rate of trans victims is actually lower than that of the cis population. Also, who's behind the murders? Mostly black men. Now, this is, as far as I can tell, factual. This is what's going on. This is how it's happening. But it violated Twitter's rules on hateful conduct, and so he's banned, Mr. Andy Ngo. He was banned for 12 hours, all right? So, Twitter employees deemed these hate facts violated their rules, especially for the rules against hateful conduct. So, the fact that it's true is less important than the fact that it's hateful. And we can even debate the fact that it's hateful, but let's just assume that it is hateful, you know? Hateful truth is still truth. The same way that free speech is still speech. Sorry, the same way that the hate speech is still free speech, you know? Almost all those deaths were prostitutes. Yeah, exactly. I'm not surprised, you know? In response to the suspension, Andy Ngo provided comment to the Post Millennial, stating a verifiable empirical claim with no value judgment attached is determined to be hateful conduct by Twitter. the platform most used by journalists to communicate and counter fake news, also actively punishes individuals for communicating truths when they are deemed politically inconvenient. Yeah, see, that is absolutely the case with Twitter. This is why Twitter's a nightmarish bullshit site. Like, you just get sucked into it. Like, okay, so one small part of the reason, and I'd say it's about 15%, I'd say, of the reason that I didn't get weekly videos out today. You know, there was the snowstorm and other things going on, IRL stuff. But like a small part was that I got into too many bullshit Twitter arguments. And like I talk about this with Butters, you know. I use Twitter to source a lot of videos because you find articles on Twitter. People are talking about stuff, you know. You kind of have like your finger on the pulse of the news cycle if you're on Twitter. And it's a very useful tool in that regard. You know, a lot of the deep digging I've found actually started on Twitter, and then you like find like you know, overlooked tweets that have like links off-site to like some strange new evidence or something, you know. But at the same time, Twitter also like destroys all productivity because you just stay on Twitter and you like live in a bubble and then you get fucked. And sometimes I especially with like Shoe on Head's followers, because a lot of them seem to be a lot crazier than she. Like, she's not crazy, but like her, like she's like she seems to be like a rational lefty, and then like her followers are all insane lefties. So what ends up happening is like I just get into arguments with like fucking idiots who are just so stupid, and then I waste a bunch of time, and then I'm like, oh shit, you know? Yeah. That's right, Matches Burn. Anyway, Twitter is like seriously one of the worst websites that's ever been invented. But anyway, these hate facts apparently are too inconvenient to talk about. Also, he's still suspended. The Guardian view on prisons and mothers, an injustice. The shameful treatment of pregnant inmates and of the children of jailed women must be addressed. No babies should be born behind bars. Well, unless you plan to let all the pregnant criminals go, that's how it's going to have to be. You know? Like, if you get convicted and you're pregnant and you go to jail, your kid should be born behind bars. Like, they shouldn't stay behind bars because, you know, the child isn't guilty of your crime. But no, like, what? Should women just not, like, okay, women are you know, don't put them behind jail, don't put them in jail anymore. They might be pregnant. It's okay. It's so stupid. Holy shit! Like, I'm every week I do this show, I want to take a shotgun blast to the face. Okay. Shock and outrage were the widespread reaction to the death of a newborn baby girl at Bronzefield Prison in Surrey in September, after her mother, neither have been named, gave birth alone in her cell at night. Okay, well, that's probably the problem, you know? Like, maybe if you're a pregnant woman and you're giving birth, you, like, make some noise. Like, hey, guards, I'm giving birth. Can you... That might have been a little bit much. That might have been a little bit much there, huh? So... Oh yes. Oh yeah, that's right. Because the baby died in the cell. That's a bit much, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I feel like probably the prison should have put her aside, given her proper medical care, and then put her back in her cell after the birth was done. You know. So the last 5 years saw a steady rise in the number of babies born to female prisoners in England and Wales, from 43 to 67. Oh, this is a huge problem. 43 women to 67 women. Dude. 20 more women. No, 25 more women, dude. Like, isn't the UK like a country of like 30 million people or some shit? Despite the female prison population barely changing. Okay, well, like, this is like a non-issue. The Guardian is like the worst fucking outlet. They write about nothing. Several thousand children are each year affected when their mothers are sent to prison, and just 9% of these imprisoned children are cared for by their fathers. Okay, well, listen. Do you think children are affected when their fathers are sent to prison? No one gives a fuck about that. If you commit a crime, you do the time. Doesn't matter if you're pregnant. Doesn't matter your gender. Doesn't even matter your race. Just fucking shut up and do it. Like, never again must a baby be born in a British jail. Why not? Maybe people shouldn't commit fucking crimes. Oh my god, I just keep saying the same thing, but it's because there's nothing else to say. Like, when someone spirals off into cloud cuckoo land, there's only so much you can do, man. That's fucking okay. Here's Reddit's official Twitter account from 2008. Though blacks are only 24% of New York City's population, they committed 68.5% of all murder. Reddit was Reddit-pilled back in 2008, dude. And then there's like a few modern replies to this tweet. Yes, back before PC culture invaded the tech world when basic facts could be told. I miss 2008. You know, I might have been a 22-year-old retard staying in a relationship that was obviously done and failing out of school, but there were some good times there, you know? There were some good times there. So this is like a genre of articles where they literally talk about how bad the holidays are and how you as a modern city dwelling coffee sipping millennial should, you know, deal with your shit family, you know. So they talk about how do you handle going back home over Christmas to talk to your racist uncle and all that kind of bullshit, right? I decided to stop cooking Thanksgiving dinner, and it was seriously the best decision. Last year, during the holidays, I started the most brilliant tradition with my family, in my opinion at least. We went out to dinner for Thanksgiving, and it was truly amazing. Not only did I skip the holiday food shopping, prep, and cleanup that I hate, but we enjoyed a totally distraction-free family meal away from the kids' toys and TV. We are 100% going out to dinner again this Thanksgiving. And after our awesome experience, I can't recommend restaurant dining instead of hosting to any busy parent enough. Yeah? Yep, enjoy, Yiz. Have fun. Man, I love pumpkin pie. The idea to make a reservation rather than cook a turkey dinner started brewing when I was complaining to my husband about how much food we end up throwing out at Thanksgiving each year. My 4 kids are very picky about what they'll eat. I inevitably end up fixing a ton of sides like stuffing, mashed potatoes, and yams, but only my husband indulges. And I'm a vegetarian, so the turkey is more or less just for him as well. The kids will pick on a few bites, and most of it goes to waste, even after multiple creative leftover recipe attempts. I feel guilty. Like, do you not have relatives to give it to? Can you not just like eat more leftovers? Like, this is such a bougie fucking complaint. All right. What I plan to do, actually, for Christmas Day this year, I'm going to do like a thing where I go over like a lot of basically cultural Marxist anti-Christian bullshit that's been happening over the past few years. That might be a fun video. Anyway, Thanksgiving doesn't happen on this day in Canada, so whatever. We already had Thanksgiving. Americans have Thanksgiving on the wrong day, frankly. So that's just the end of that. All right, chums. That about does it for me. Here's the plan. Tonight, I'll type it out one more time. https://twitch.tv/gameboomers. Go here tonight. At this point, in about 6 hours, go there. And me, Dave, Dom, and Naomi are going to be playing Catherine full body on the PS4 on Game Boomers tonight. If that kind of thing interests you. After the Catherine stream is done, come back to SFO because I'm going to fire up the monthly community night stream. Okay? The monthly community night will basically be a situation where I look at fan art, I open fan mail, and I take call-ins from the audience. It's not going to be a movie riff anymore. It's going to be a call-in situation. So if you want to call in and chat, you're part of the $5 club, you want to be part of the show, we will do a thing where like you can talk to me about whatever you like. We'll just have like an hour or so of just kind of fun community bullshit. The movie nights, They made sense back when we had only, 3 people who were riffers. It made sense when we were doing it then because, we could all riff in the movie together. But as soon as we had like 20 donators, and now we have like 100 donators, there's just too many people to do a movie riff with a community anymore. There's just too many. So the movie riffs will probably become their own side project somewhere else, and I'm gonna move Community Night over into being a radio call-in show. So that's the situation. Architect of Fate, $5 right at the end. You shut your heretical mouth, Dev. Can't have it on the wrong day. Yeah, but the British also agree with us, so America's just wrong. I will do bad movies as a different side project on a side channel. I'll bring it back someday. But it's just that like nobody was watching the movie Community Nights anymore, so I'm just going to change it up. So, yes, that is the end of the stream. Feel free to support support the channel however you like. $5 a month through Patreon Subscribe-Star, YouTube memberships, or Twitch sub button. Any of those things will get you into the $5 club. $100 lump sum gets you into the $5 club for life. We gotta do community stuff in there. And the community stuff will include tonight's community stream. So, I'm not Dave. God damn it. I'm not Dave. God damn it. Okay, guys, I'm getting out of here. See you tonight for Catherine in about 6 hours. And I'll see you tonight for the community stream in about 9 or 10 hours. All right? Good night. I love you.